Voice of the Duck Hunter, a podcast presented by Delta Waterfowl.
Well, let's imagine a place in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, that kind of latitude. I think, all things being equal, we'd love that to be in high-functioning moist soil management. Mm-hmm. There's lots of places for ducks to eat corn or rice or soybeans. And Lee Fredrickson tells us this going back a jillion years, right, about the value of moist soil. It's way valuable to ducks. Plus, it's the kind of habitat we've lost the most of in that part of the world.
Right.
It just doesn't exist like it used to. And the reason it's valuable is because there's really good intensive moist soil. You have this huge breadth of plants from little itty bitty seeds to bigger seeds. Plus, you get this big sort of crush of invertebrates. So you got lots of groceries on a per acre basis. So let's go back and imagine in 1976, the first time somebody hunted there. They went out there and it was, man, they got it right. What the duck hunter didn't see is what was happening in April, in May, June, July, and August, and September to create that robust stand of moist soil. So what you need to do if you want good moist soil, and believe me, there's 1,000 people better to describe this than John Devney, I can assure you of that. But in simple terms, you got to get the water off it after the ducks leave. Okay, then it sits up for a little bit. And if you're in late stage succession, you're going to want to run a disc through it to keep early succession plants. Then you're going to hit it with irrigation. And then you're going to hit it with irrigation till about June 1st, and then you're going to drop the water off of it. Then you may flush another set of irrigation on it in August, and then flush it off, and then you're going to fill it for the opening day of duck season in the 14th of November. Okay? So that was the experience. That was the management. That's what we were doing on that refuge in 1976 or 1986 or whenever the hell the Gilded Age was. Okay? Now the experience is that refuge went from having 20 people and the staff to a guy is a biologist, guy or gal, who is now serving 5 refuges as part of a complex. Guess what's not happening? We're not doing the irrigation in April. We're not doing the disking. We're not doing the flush in June. So guess what happens? It grows up into a bunch of crap that is not highly valuable like the stuff we were getting when we were intensively managing. We aren't getting swamp timothy. We're not getting wild millet. We got cockleburs and willow trees. And so I think that is, but the thing about it is, the reason for that is not because, as Jason, I think, did a nice job pointing out early, is because somebody set out to screw it up, right? Or to, I'm going to show these duck hunters, we're going to give them crummy habitat. The reality is, if you want to manage moist soil like that, you have to be able to move water at very specific times, which means you have to have pumps at work, water control structures at work.
Access to the water.
And access to the water. All of that.
And a person to move the
to
hose
do
and
it.
flip the switch.
So
right?
we've got, what did we say earlier? We got $250 million of deferred maintenance. That's the stuff we use to move water. And then you pointed out we have 711 fewer people. That's less people to turn the pumps on, disc this. So that, I think, sort of characterizes the nature of it. And people can imagine for where they live and the kind of habitat they have. But that's the challenge with managing for ducks and duck hunting, is it's more intensive than having good habitat for white-tailed deer. And I recognize I'm always disparaging about white-tailed deer, but white-tailed deer do pretty damn good in a lot of places. They don't need somebody micromanaging, disking, and putting water on and off at the optimal time to get the kind of habitat quality we need for ducks.
The Voice of the Duck Hunter, a podcast presented by Delta Waterfowl.